90 psi, leaky stem. Cannot determine that that is the main water shutoff valve. The exterior, and I get it, we're inside the front portico. But the exterior receptacles should have in-use covers, kind of like a bubble cover, so you can plug in your Christmas lights, close the cover, and it's protected. When this home was built, that was an acceptable practice. Over here, brick is a very good building material. This home can burn down and you can reuse the bricks. It's a great insulator too, for both sound and temperature, heat. But a characteristic of brick, even though it's such a good building material, is that it's porous. The water just runs right through it. We weren't here when the home was built, so we can't speak to whether there was a drainage plan installed behind it. But when I see loose bricks around the perimeter like that, those bricks were usually left out so the code inspector could come in with a flashlight and a mirror and check the drainage plane behind the bricks. So that gives us some hope. And the number of weep holes also gives us some hope that they were very proactive for the time and keeping the walls dry. But if we come over here, we're to go over our windows and our doors, we have these metal lintels. And they're supposed to extend 6 inches. That looks pretty close, actually. It looks more like it. And then what we've done, this metal, it holds the brick up over the fenestration, over the doors, over the windows. And we've disrupted the drainage plane. So now we need weep holes over our lintels. And 20 years ago, they weren't doing that. And so they didn't do it. But you should have weep holes. Now over here, see this window, we do not have a lintel because we're not supporting any brick. So that would not apply here. Where do termites live? In the ground. Oh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Oh. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. It's called a clue. It's called a clue. This is conducive conditions. Now over here, our lawn sprinkler head is right next to the house. We don't want that either. So there's that. Now we get to the corners. You see that little crack right in there? Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. Corner pops, corner pops. They're shrinkage cracks. And what happens is the concrete and the brick moves at different rates for different reasons. And the pressure always comes out at the corners and the pops develop. Now in regards to your foundation, I'm not using these shrinkage cracks, are not included in any calculation or any consideration towards foundation performance. Now it might be a wall performance thing, because if you lose that, it's holding up, because this is a cladding, okay? You don't really have brick walls, you got a wooden walls with the drainage plane behind it, and you got the weep holes. All that system's going on. You lose this corner, it's no longer supporting the brick, you could lose a few bricks, so you might have to repoint some bricks and put a corner in there. A pain in the butt, but it doesn't reflect your foundation. It's more of a wall issue, although it's going to be in the foundation section of the report. It's also going to be in the wood destroying insect report, because just like I have wood mulch next to the house, okay, well, subterranean termites love to go up inside those cracks, because they have to be in contact. That's where they got their name, subterranean. They have to be in contact with the earth. So they come over here for some easy eatings, and they say, hey, well, you know what? I wonder what it's like over here. And they'll just check this out, and they'll come right on into your house. So that's a conducive condition for termites. Move on along. We got some soffit vents. That's a good thing. Wooden chimney chase with a manufactured chimney. What few screens we have are in bad shape. And this is all hail damage. Okay, so this screen's experienced some hail damage. Again, we're not supporting brick. We don't have a lintel. We don't need a weep hole there. Double pane. vinyl frame, maybe some aluminum, but this seals. Okay, I'm wiping that off. Okay, I want to see a vapor barrier breaking, but these seals are drying out, and if you haven't lost your vapor barrier, you're about to. This is the fresh air induction vent for the fireplace chimney. It's where it's supposed to be. I like that. I like things being where they're supposed to be. Moving on along. Oh, come back around. Our rain gutters discharge below grade, except for this one. And it used to, but they just took it apart. This is the discharge port for it. So it's supposed to go into the ground and come out here. And it's just not supposed to pour next to the house like that. Fences are beyond the scope of this inspection, except where they touch the structure in regard to the wood destroying insect report. Yay, that's a long sentence. But on this wall, the structure faces north. So on the north and west fences, because these have rails over the tops of, you've got exposed fence posts. And it's like a rain gauge, and water can just go down in the post, collect at the bottom, cause it to corrode, cause it to fail prematurely. On around. Rain gutters below grade. We should have an in-use cover. And the exterior has been painted, the interior has been painted. This house has been painted inside and out for a flip. We're not getting any power there because I tripped the breaker. But we should have an in-use cover there. Missing screens. The base of this light fixture should have been sealed to help prevent moisture infiltration into the wall. Coming on along, now we have standing water over here, just a big old puddle of it. Can you say West Nile disease? That's not drainage. And is that leakage from the lawn sprinkler system? Because you're about to find out in a continuation, you're about to find out that I couldn't get the meter cover off. I could not remove the meter cover. And so I could not do a meter test to see if we got any leakage into the house. And my client's telling me that this puddle has been here since before the rains came. And it hasn't disappeared. I'd like to think the rains are gone. We got a broken rail right here. Again, fences are beyond the scope of this inspection, but we do have a broken rail. Let's see if we can get a picture of that. I can just walk right past it. There you go. That's how we work. So where's this water coming from? Do we have a water leak or what? There's one of those shrinkage cracks right there that's fallen out, so it's not supporting a brick. Since it doesn't have a void, then that wouldn't be conducive to wood destroying insects, would it? But it's a wall issue. Moving on along. Now, this little pipe out here that's leaking over the primary bathroom, primary bedroom, suite, bathroom window. Okay, it looks like it's leaking rusty water. I can see the rust stains in the grass. Okay, that tells us that our coil is probably rusty. It's leaking, so it tells us that our drain pan is not draining like it's supposed to. This is the emergency. This is the donut tire. This is your spare tire. Okay, the primary drain is clogged, not draining like it should. This is taking up the slack to keep it from pouring on your ceiling. When this drain gets clogged, it is going to go through your ceiling. So it's time. Hold on. Now one thing, there we go. This right here is a control joint. And the sealant So I imagine we have one on the other side. That was kind of difficult to see. But after a few years, what does sealant do? It gets dry, pulls away, and shrinks and cracks and does those kinds of things. So it's about time to start going around for your control joint sealants. This is a R22 refrigerant, hail damage, exposed cable. Does not have anti-theft valves. It's behind the unit. It's 22 years old. This is the electric meter. We're going to have a whole video to this. We're going to have a whole video to this. This is the gas as it comes into the house. Alright, so we're going to get our bonding is going to be at the HVAC indoor air handler. I guess our bonding could be at the water heater too. But indoor air handler. Moving on into our garage, fresh paint. We've got a little bit of cracking going on here. Let's see. I said we did. There you are. Wider than a 32nd of an inch? No. Okay. Is it wider at the ends than it is in the middle? No. Okay. Is it in plane? Yes. So that's what concrete does. It gets hard and it cracks. Alright. These are typical cracks in the garage. Now, you're not going to have crack envy from your neighbors. I wish I had typical cracks like you've got typical cracks. It's not going to be the case. But it's the building material. It's what we're working with, and that's how it works. That's how it works. Now, come over here into the driveway, which is beyond the scope of this inspection. Probably going to get tired of hearing that all the time. It's a little wider at the ends, more than a 32nd of an inch. Not in plane. Okay, so does it have to be repaired? No. Is it correct? No, it's not correct. So this is a deficiency. By the rules of thumb that I use, you know, this is a deficiency to me. And over time, you know, with movement and everything else, this isn't going to heal. It's not going to get prettier. This is as good as it's ever going to look. And it's destined to look worse. Now, I can't say this enough times because it's a safety issue. But on our water heater over here, our flue is disconnected. So carbon monoxide can spill out into the garage and over into the living space. .90 psi, our water pressure is too high, our stem leaks.